We will see today the solutions of selected question of NCERT exercise 7.3. Step by step, if you have seen the previous modules, you have seen step by step we are progressing and we are seeing the new methods of integration. And different question you might have seen that according to condition also you can change the method. By the way, here I have selected at my own. The first question is is sine square 2x plus 5 dx. This is to be integrated. Now first of all, if I see the pattern whatever we have seen in previous modules, we will see one thing that 2x plus 5 as linear polynomial is given. So this belongs to the first pattern of f of ax plus b. So as per the instruction, we should substitute 2x plus 5 first by t. Before we apply some method, we should see that this should be one variable, as we are integrating with respect to x, and here we are having not x, it is a linear polynomial given with sign function. So that's why we will convert this in one variable only. Now differentiating, we find this will be 2dx equal to dt. This integration can be written as sine square t dt upon 2. So this half is a constant taken in multiplication. Now sine square t dt. We will think of the patterns now of the function which are based on trigonometric identity. So sine square, this was the particular thing which I introduced in previous module, that whenever we are having the square of sine or cos, then we use particular identity, as we know that 1 minus cos 2 theta, this is equal to 2 sine square theta. So this identity we will use here. This can be written as half. In place of sine square t, we write 1 minus cos 2t divided by 2 dt. Next, it's 1 by 4, and now we can integrate the terms separately as 1 dt minus integration of cos 2 dt. Here, that's okay. If I integrate 1, so this will be 1 by 4. It's a t minus. Now this is state I'll say. Suppose you have understood how can we do cos 2t integration directly. It's okay. Otherwise, again we can apply substitution method taking 2t as u, some other variable, or you can take v, w, etc. So substitution method you can apply taking this part of the integration as I1 and doing that separately. But I am expecting that this can be done directly. The cos 2t, its integration, this is sine 2t upon 2 and all plus c. This I have introduced in previous lectures, that whenever we are giving a basic function with a linear polynomial, its integration directly we can do, and whatever be the coefficient of the variable, it comes in denominator. So this way we can directly operate the function. Now t will be replaced by its value 2x plus 5. We get 1 by 4. 2x plus 5 minus 1 by 4 into 2, 1 by 8 sine of twice 2x plus 5 plus c. So this way we have integrated the given function. Now we will see for the next question, question number 3. This question again is based on the identity whenever product of function cos or sine is given. In basic pattern I have introduced. But the thing is, here we are having 3 functions in product. So that's why I selected a question. How we do? First of all, we will club any 2 of them. Like we can take cos 6x and cos 4x randomly. So this way I will write cos 4x cos 6x and 2 multiplied in the function and by the same divided also. and cos x I am putting separately. Now the identity 2 cos A cos B, this is equal to cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. This identity is to be applied here. So we get the result of this group as A means 6x we will take and B 4x. So we get cos 10x plus cos 2x as the result. Now you can see what is the change. The product has been converted in expanded form, addition or subtraction, so that we can integrate the terms separately. Now this cos x is remaining. So once again we take cos x in the bracket. We see its integration is equal to cos x cos 10x plus cos x cos 2x dx. Now as we see that again we are having each term the product of cos function, so we will multiply and divide by 2 to apply the identity which we have used above, the same identity. So here this will be 1 by 4 and further we can say this 2 cos x cos 10x plus 2 cos x cos 2x dx. What is the result? Let's see. This will be 10x plus x. First thing we get cos 11x plus 10x minus x. It is cos 9x. This becomes next cos 2 plus 1. It is 3x plus cos 2 minus 1 cos x. Now what is the change? What is the effect on the function? You can see the whole function we have converted in terms of expanded form and each term is integrable now. And once again I will remind you here the method of direct integration is applicable and useful. Okay, because now these are 4 parts of the function and every time you are applying substitution method, so I consider this is time taking. Okay, and also that much extension to the solution is of no use. Okay, so this directly can be done like I said. Once again I will explain with the help of these functions. It is integration of cos 11x. Each term will be separated now. Integration of cos 11x will be sin 11x and it is linear polynomial. The coefficient will come in denominator. This will be written in denominator plus sin 9x upon 9 sin 3x upon 3 and this is sin x as it is plus c. Now once we are done, constant can be multiplied inside or this way only we can put the answer. I hope that this much understood to you. Now the next question number 5, which is here we will see its method, what is applicable. This is the special case, as in the beginning only I said, depends on the condition that what type of function is given to us, we can change the method. Here we will see this by one method which I consider to be obvious. We can write sin x cos x whole cube. Actually I will solve this question by 2 methods. This is first method we are applying. Cube can be taken out. As soon as we do, we know that the identity sin 2x this is equal to 2 sin x cos x. So using this relation I can replace the function as sin 2x upon 2 whole cube dx. As soon as I do, I see that we are having the function as 1 upon 8, this constant I have taken as coefficient sin cube 2x dx. And now again, first of all, before we go ahead to see for the function, type of function, we need to substitute 2x. So here we can say 2x equal to t, so 2 dx equal to dt. We get here I as 1 upon 8 and this 2 comes in denominator, becomes 1 upon 16 integration of sin cube t dt. And this is a particular pattern. Whenever we get exponent 3 of sine function or cos, then we use the identity of sine 3 theta and cos 3 theta, as we know that sine 3 theta, this is equal to 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. We'll apply this identity on the function. Let's see. We see that this term is of sine cube theta. Comparison, it's a sine cube t. We can write using this relation I as 1 upon 16 integration of 3 sine t minus sine 3t upon 4. Further, it's I 1 upon 16 into 4, it's a 1 by 64, and each function can be solved separately. Integration of sine t dt minus integration of sine 3t dt. Now first term is the basic function, and we get I as 1 by 64 thrice as the integration of sine t is minus cos t. It's minus cos t minus, and once again the same thing, the direct integration of sine 3t. We know that it is minus cos 3t as the integration of sine part, and for 3t the coefficient of t is denominator plus c. Now only thing which is left is to replace t by the value. This is minus 3 cos, we have taken t as 2x, so this becomes minus 3 cos 2x plus 1 by 3 cos 2 into 3, this will become cos 6x plus c. This way we get the integral of the given function using this method of 3 theta. Maybe we have used the method of 3 theta, otherwise substitution is a part of it. Again, that makes it convenient to understand that which pattern is applicable over there. Okay. Now, as I said, I will solve this by two methods, and the patterns which I have introduced, those only I will apply. Now, for the second method, how can we begin? As we are given sine cube x cos cube x dx, and both of them are having same odd power, we can split one of them. Like suppose I have split cos, so I will have sine cube x cos square x cos x dx. One cos x I have taken separate from the given power. Now what is the effect? I know that cos x is differentiation of sine. I need to convert the remaining function in terms of sine only. So this part is already sine cube. So this cos square is convertible in terms of sine. Means we can write sine cube x and 1 minus sine square x cos x dx. At this stage, I see the remaining function now in terms of sine we have written. So that's why let sin x equal to t. Substitution of sine we are going to be differentiating. We get cos x dx as dt. As soon as we get this cos x dx becomes dt, and remaining part can be written as t cube 1 minus t square. This can be written in expanded form as t cube minus t raised to the power 5 dt. Now operating, we get this is t raised to the power 4 upon 4 minus t raised to the power 6 upon 6 plus c. Now putting the value of t, as I find that t I consider sin x, so finally this is 1 by 4 sin raised to the power 4 x minus 1 by 6 sin raised to the power 6 x plus c. Here we can finalize the answer. Now you can see from both methods we are having different answers. This I did not discuss with you after the first method. You can see these two are different answers for the same question. Why are they so? Let me explain that also. In first one we got the answer in terms of first of all cos and also the multiple of angle 2x and 6x like that. Here we are having the answer in terms of sine and also in the power form. Here power 6, here it is 4. Now they are interconvertible, as we know that here identity cos 2x we can convert this in the form of sine as 1 minus 2 sine square x using the identity. The same we can do for cos 6x also. So when it is converted in terms of sine, we will get the same answer. Not to worry, by this method as we are having this answer, so both of them will be considered. Okay, I hope you have understood this method. Now we are going to take next group of questions from the same exercise. For the next group of questions, I am taking question number 8, 12 and 13. Exercise 7.3. Here we go. I see that in each question we need to apply trigonometric identities as mainly the exercise based on the same concept. Here, now in general, students rationalize the denominator by the multiplication of 1 minus cos x to numerator denominator both. So this will become 1 minus cos x whole square and this will become 1 minus sine 1 minus cos square x, which will be converted as sine square x. All these things I am speaking verbally. Reason because I am not going to apply that method. As I said, two methods are applicable. One thing which I want to introduce. What? First I will use this method. Here we know that 1 minus cos 2x this is equal to 2 sine square x and 1 plus cos 2x this is 2 cos square x. What we can do? Comparing these identities to the given function, we can write the numerator as it's 1 minus cos 2x, so sine square x. So this will become 2 sine square x by 2. In denominator, we find it is 2 cos square x by 2 dx. These two cancel out, and now the function converts as tan square x by 2 dx. And recently, previous modules I have introduced that tan square is never integrated directly. We will convert this in sec square form by the identity of Pythagoras. This can be written as sec square x by 2 minus 1 dx. And here we can say this is integration sec square x by 2 dx minus 1 dx. Now, as for the given function, the first term we are having x by 2. So for this one, you can take it I1 and solve separately by substitution. But this one can be written as minus x plus c. Now, to solve the first term I1, we write here sec square x by 2 dx, and for substitution x by 2 as t, we say it is half dx dt. Then I1 can be written as twice sec square t dt, and sec square t its integration is tan t plus c. And again I will say, if you want to do this directly, it was easy. If you do the practice like sec square x by 2, its integration is tan x by 2. You see the same result we are having, tan x by 2. And whatever be the coefficient of x, as it is linear polynomial, the coefficient of x is 1 by 2. So this will be written in denominator, which becomes a 2 later. So by the way, depends on choice. Now this much we have obtained. Now change the constant at C1. But finally I will write I as twice tan x by 2 minus x plus c. That C1 also is contained in C. I hope you have got this one method. So here I have directly used from the beginning these identities. Now we will see next. Suppose the method which is generally opted by the students to rationalize, we will see that method also. 1 minus cos x, 1 plus cos x. Suppose rationalize, we rationalize the denominator This is in general the term is used, rationalize. The way we multiply 1 minus cos x and numerator and denominator is just used by students. So, okay, not basically we are rationalizing. So what we are going to do, this will become 1 minus cos x whole square and below 1 minus cos square x. We have multiplied 1 minus cos x in both numerator and denominator. Okay, so 1 minus cos square x, this becomes a sin square x. This becomes a sin square x dx. This above numerator, this can be expanded by a minus b whole square. Let's see what we obtain here, whether more convenient in comparison to the first method or not. Let's see. This will become a square 1 b square cos square x minus 2ab, so minus 2 cos x upon sin square x dx. Now as I see, this sin square x being monomial, we can separate in each term. So we have I is equal to cos x square x plus cos square upon sin square will become cot square x, and cos upon sin square minus 2 cos upon sin cot and 1 upon sin cos x dx. Now cos x square x is directly integrable. This cos x and cot x also is directly integrable. This cot square x will be converted in terms of cos x square. Then only we can integrate. So better to do that conversion here only, and we can write cot square x is cos x square x minus 1. So we find here twice cos x square x minus 1 minus 2 cos x cot x dx. Now each function is directly integrable. That's why I will write here I as, this is cos x square x, so minus 2 cot x, it is minus x, this is minus cos x, so becomes plus 2 cos x plus c. Now you can see that this result, the first one which we obtained, and this one, the second method, both of them are completely different. Only one term minus x that can be compared. Now let me tell you once again, when we simplify minus 2 cot x and 2 cos x, the result will be 2 tan x by 2. So again I will say these are trigonometric function. Whenever we are integrating, the results may be transformed from one to other. Okay, so not to worry, both are different methods, depends on choice. This is first one and this is second method which we have applied. I hope both of the methods are understood by you. Now we will see the next question. For question number 12, once again we see the pattern sin square x upon 1 plus cos x. Directly for sure we cannot integrate. Why? Because denominator is given in two terms first of all, and this is the monomial numerator. Okay. Even if some substitution is used like 1 plus cos x, if I take as t, if I substitute by t, so its differentiation is sin x. So 1 sin x we will obtain, but the rest 1 sin x raised to the power 1, that cannot be converted conveniently. So let's think of some better method using trigonometric identities. I see I can write the numerator as 1 minus cos square x upon 1 plus cos x. So obviously when 1 minus cos square x, so if I write 1 square doesn't matter, but looks like a square minus b square, so I can say that 1 plus cos x is hidden in this identity only. A plus b, a minus b, and we are having 1 plus cos x dx. These two brackets easily cancelled out, and the function becomes in very easy form like 1 minus cos x dx. Directly integrable. First term will be x, next will be sin x integration plus c. That's all. Very simple question after applying a trigonometric identity. The same question number 13. Now, for question number 13, we will see it is given cos 2x minus cos 2 alpha from cos x minus cos alpha. For this also, we can see the identities are applicable. Cos 2x, we know that this can be compared to cos 2 theta, which is, if I convert this in terms of cos, I will find 2 cos square theta minus 1. If this identity I apply in both of the terms in numerator, see the change. Integral can be written as 2 cos square x minus 1 minus 2 cos square alpha minus 1 upon cos x minus cos alpha dx. Here, why am I applying this identity? Actually, in denominator we are given cos x and cos alpha. So, in terms of those only, I need to convert. When we open the bracket, see the change. 2 cos square x minus 1 minus 2 cos square alpha plus 1. Cos x minus cos alpha dx, these two terms cancelled out, and 2 common from the terms remaining, we are left with cos square x minus cos square alpha upon cos x minus cos alpha dx. Now, we can compare the numerator to denominator and can feel that it is a square minus b square. Simply applying the identity, we find I can be written as further cos x plus cos alpha, a plus b. A minus b means cos x minus cos alpha upon cos x minus cos alpha dx. Now these two brackets cancel out. As soon as we do, it becomes very convenient for integration. Both of the terms, cos x plus cos alpha are left. Yes, rewriting I as cos x plus cos alpha dx. Now putting the bracket, I find 2 integration of cos x dx, but you have to be alert here for this cos alpha. Maximum places, cos alpha is a constant, so maximum such cases can cause us to commit mistake. That's why this cos alpha is constant. Keep in mind, it's not x. So cos alpha will be taken as constant all here, and we will integrate 1 here in this step. Let's see the result. Cos x, its integration is sin x plus, from here we will get x, integration of 1 and plus c. Now opening the bracket, we have 2 sin x plus 2x cos alpha plus c. We get the final integration of the function. So you can see that this also is based on the trigonometric identities. Once you have command over these, you can solve such equations. Let's see. This can be done in different ways, but one method which we are going to see here is applicable. Maximum cases, whenever we are having sin 2x and in numerator cos x minus sin x or cos x plus sin x. Keep in mind, this is a special case. What am I speaking? Actually, we must know that cos x minus sin x whole square. If we operate by a minus b whole square, we get cos square x plus sin square x minus 2 cos x sin x. So this becomes 1 minus sin 2x. You see. Similarly, if you make the square of cos x plus sin x whole square, we get cos square x plus sin square x. I am applying a plus b whole square. Then plus 2 cos x sin x. This becomes again 1 plus sin 2x. Now you can see the relation. This 1 plus sin 2x directly can be written as cos x plus sin x whole square, and here 1 minus sin 2x can directly be written as cos x minus sin x whole square. By the way, we will use the second identity in the given integration. I can be written as cos x minus sin x upon cos x plus sin x whole square. Now what is the requirement? What is the help here? This denominator we consider as t cos x plus sin x. is equal to t. If you have done the previous modules completely, then you might have come to know they are a differentiation. Actually, it's a differentiation. If you do, you will get the numerator. How? Differentiating, we get minus sin x plus cos x dx dt. You can see this is the numerator here. So I will become dt upon t, and finally which is log mod t plus c, and the value of t is log cos x plus sin x plus c. This way we can do. As I said, this is important equation, so be careful. Now next one, here again we are having this product of function, but tan and sec, group of tan and sec. So first of all, I suggest use substitution. Let 2x as t, so 2 dx becomes a dt. Integration can be written as half tan cube t sec t dt. Now wherever pairs of sec and tan are there, you might have seen again in the basics previous modules, either tan or sec we have to consider, we have to substitute as t. Just let's check this. Here we are having sec raised to the power 1. Okay, so if I consider sec as t, so differentiation of sec is sec t will be sec t into tan t. Okay, 1 tan t is available here. Okay, but keep in mind the remaining portion of the function should be convertible in sec only. Why? Because we are taking sec t only, we are substituting sec t. So tan square t easily can be converted. On the reverse, if I take tan t as some other variable, as t I have already taken, so we will consider u. So suppose tan t I consider as u. So the differentiation of tan is sec square. This is not available here. Obviously, we will start with sec t, but before we write integration as tan square t sec t tan t dt, and we know remaining portion must be in terms of sec. Already we have estimated these things, so this will become sec square t minus 1, and rest portion sec t tan t dt. Now substitution only is left. Sec t equal to u, we get sec t tan t dt as du. Replacing by the one we get here, this will become u square minus 1 du. Very basic function. You can do it directly as I u cube by 3 minus u plus c. What is the value of u here? Sec t. So we can write 1 by 3 sec cube, and t it is 2x. So we can write next step, no problem. Sec t plus I as 1 by 2, 1 by 3 sec cube 2x minus sec 2x plus c. I hope you got the method. This is the pair of tan and sec, so be careful. In previous modules, all about such pairs I have explained. Now, we will see question number 18. It is just to confuse. I see that cos 2x is given, 2 sin square x also is given in addition. I don't want to make a delay here. I see that cos 2x has the identity of cos 2x. Identity is 1 minus 2 sin square x. This identity you can use here, or directly you can see the sum of these two will be 1. Okay, depends. Using this identity, we can write this sum as 1 upon cos square x dx. This becomes sec square x dx, and yes, sec square basic function, it is tan x plus c. You can see once you are having command on trigonometric identities, then easily you can do the integration. Okay, so with time we will see more such questions, and surely identities of trigonometry are very important. Now let's see the next group of question. Now this is the last group of question from this exercise which we are going to solve. Actually, like this first question, if you have seen previous modules, when I introduced the concept of this using trigonometric identity, this method already I have used there. The same thing I want to remind, that's why the selection of this question is done. What was that? I said whenever sin and cos with small power are given in the denominator and numerator is 1, we can try one method. One can be written as sin square x plus cos square x sin x cos cube x dx. Now these are in product means monomial, so we can separate this in both terms as sin square x upon sin x cos cube x dx plus cos square x upon sin x cos cube x. Now simplify, we find this part is cancelled, here cos cancels this part. Now finally we have sin x upon cos cube x dx plus, here we are left with 1 upon sin x cos x dx. Here next I write 1 cos x clubbed with sin x denominator, so sin x upon cos x we get as tan x, and 1 upon cos square x we have sec square x. I hope by this step you have started to integrate this function. As you know that tan x is differentiation is sec square x, all is available, you can do this. Plus here sin x cos x, again if I use the identity of sin 2x equal to 2 sin x cos x, so yes, sin x cos x can be written as sin 2x by 2, or you can write 2 upon sin 2x dx. Further, I will take this as I1 and second part as I2. Let's see how to solve. For I1, we write tan x sec square x dx, so let tan x be t, differentiating we have sec square x dx dt, and yes, I1 is t dt, which further is t square by 2 plus c1. So this t as it was tan x, so half tan square x plus c1. This is the value of I1. Now we will think of I2. As I2 I have written twice of 1 upon sin 2x dx. So first of all, as you know, 1 upon sin is cosec, so we can write this as I2 twice integration of cosec 2x dx, and again substituting 2x or doing directly if you are having command let 2x equal to u, so 2 dx, this is equal to du, and we can write I2 as twice cosec u du, and this 2 in denominator will come here. Cosec u, this also has been now introduced, and as I said, we can use it direct as an identity in questions. So integration of cosec x is log cosec u minus cot u plus c2. U replaced by the value 2x, I2 becomes log, every time a log I have to without basis ln natural log cosec 2x minus cot 2x plus c2. Combining the results of I1 and I2, I find that this I is half tan square x plus log cosec 2x minus cot 2x plus c, which c contains c1, c2 and all the constants available. So I hope this is understood to you. This is one method, as I said. In whenever power is less and they are in product, sin and cos are in product in denominator, in numerator is 1. In special case, this method can be used. Okay, by the way, we will see now next questions. Twentieth question, we will use here the identity of cos 2x, which is cos square x minus sin square x. Why am I using? Because I see denominator also is given in terms of cos and sin. So if I use this identity, so numerator becomes cos square x minus sin square x. Cos x plus sin x whole square is the denominator. Above we can apply a square minus b square. We have cos x plus sin x in one bracket and cos x minus sin x in other. In denominator, cos x plus sin x whole square as it is. This bracket cancels the power, and now we are left with cos x minus sin x upon cos x plus sin x dx. But don't forget, this denominator, recently we have done such equation, its differentiation is cos x minus sin x. So let cos x plus sin x as t differentiating minus sin x plus cos x, which is the numerator, dx is dt. So we get I as dt upon t, which comes log of mod t plus c. Finally we can write t is cos x plus sin x. So whenever you see, you can use this pattern directly. You are watching this pattern, you can directly say log of cos x plus sin x mod plus c. Doesn't matter. So this way we can solve using the identity again of cos 2x. Now the next question may confuse. You know that sin inverse is given with cos x. So if I want to solve it, if I want to simplify that, I need somehow this to convert in terms of sine. Yes, we are having one relation. Cos x can be written as sine pi by 2 minus x. The same thing if I apply, I find that sine inverse, this becomes sine pi by 2 minus x. As no limitations given. So yes, once we do, so we are having this cancellation rule of inverse trigonometry, left with pi by 2 minus x dx. These both are very conveniently integrable functions, and we can write this as pi by 2x minus x square by 2 plus c. That's all. I hope everything you are getting. Now the last question, 22nd, again is question 1. Here product of cos is given with x minus a, x minus b in denominator. So this is not in numerator, this is in denominator, and x minus a, x minus b are linear polynomials are given. First of all, let me say something. X minus b minus x minus a. We see, opening the bracket, x to x cancelled out, and we are left with a minus b. That's why we are taking minus. That's why we are taking subtraction between that. So the difference between these two is a minus b. One thing. Next, you may be given the product of both cos or both sine, or maybe one function as sine, other function as cos. So this is the tricky part which we have to keep in mind. Actually, the question is from earlier classes where trigonometry we have seen. Whenever both are same function, then we need to multiply and divide the given p by q form in terms of sine. And what will be multiplied and by what we multiply and divide, that will be the difference between these two, is sine of a minus b. I repeat, whenever the functions are same, either both cos or both sine, then multiply and divide by sine a minus b. If both of them are different, sine cos, then multiply and divide by cos a minus b. This becomes very easy format. Let's see here. Multiplying and dividing by sine a minus b. What happens? I find I can written as a sine a minus b is a constant. So this denominator part outside, the purpose is to put in numerator part. Our purpose is to consider this in numerator part. So what will make a change? Let me show you that. Sine a minus b, as recently we could see, is equal to x minus b, x minus a. Yes, we will write I as 1 upon sine A minus B, and in the numerator we write sine of x minus B minus x minus A upon cos x minus A cos x minus B. As soon as I write so, what is the change? The identity sine A minus B will be applied. Sine A minus B theta minus phi. If I apply the identity, it is we find sine of A means x minus B, cos of B means x minus A, minus cos of x minus B and sine of x minus A. Denominator remains as it is, no change in denominator. Now benefit, as the denominator is product means monomial, this can be separated in both of the terms. This we will utilize as 1 upon sine A minus B, and if I write that separately, sine of x minus B cos of x minus A. Here cos of x minus A cos of x minus B minus sine of x minus A cos of x minus B divided by cos of x minus A cos of x minus B. Now see the change. Here terms of cos with x minus A will be cancelled out, and the next x minus B part, this will be cancelled out. Finally we are left with I as 1 upon sine A minus B integration of sine upon cos with same angle. It is tan x minus B minus tan x minus A dx. Now as this stage, whether you substitute x minus B, x minus A by the u or t, or you do directly, doesn't matter. Why? Because this is a linear polynomial where coefficient is 1, so will come as it is. What I mean to say, integration of tan, again I will say, you have to see, for that you have to see the previous modules. Integration of tan is, I said, either minus log cos x or log sec x plus c. So that's why applying that here, each term we find sine A minus B as it is, and integrating we find log of sec x minus B in first term minus log of sec x minus A and plus c. That's all. But one more thing, if these two terms are of log with minus, we can apply the properties of log to write that as 1 upon sine x minus B and log of sec x minus B upon sec x minus A plus c. Not this much. You can write these in terms of cos also. In that case, cos x minus B will be the denominator and cos x minus A numerator. Rest depend on choice. This also will be considered to be answer. I hope it is understood you. You can see that there is a widespread use of trigonometric identities and concept. So once you should revise well, then you should begin the exercise. I hope everything is understood to you. Thank you. That's all.